Very good morning to all of you. In my previous video, we had exercise on classification of accounts. As we all know that there are three types of accounts in English system, that is in the field of accounting. First one is personal account, second one is real account, and third one is nominal account. As we all know that this personal account, it deals with person, firm, institution, or organization with whom business deals. That is called as personal account. And there are three types of personal accounts, such as natural personal account and representative personal account, and third one is artificial personal account. Then second one is real account. It is a account which deals with properties or assets owned by the business. Yeah, this particular account, it deals with all tangible assets, intangible assets, and fictitious assets of the firm. That is the reason this particular account is further classified in three ways, such as tangible real account, intangible real account, and fictitious real account. Then third one is nominal account. This is a account which deals with all expenses and losses and all incomes and gains. There are no further classification in case of nominal account. So this particular account, it deals with all expenses and losses that incurs in the ordinary course of business, and the incomes and gains that we will earn in the ordinary course of business. That particular account is called as what? It is called as nominal account. So this is about classification of accounts in English system. And in my previous video, we had taken examples of around 30 types of accounts. I mean 30 examples, and we classified those accounts into personal account, real account, and nominal account. And along with that, we discussed that what is the reason why we should consider that particular account as a particular type of account. So this was the exercise which we had in my previous video. So in today's video, we are going to cover one more very important aspect, that is rules of debit and credit under English system. Actually, we call these rules as golden rules of accounting. We also call these rules as golden rules of accounting. So very important aspect, because our further things are completely based on these golden rules of accounting. The name itself, it indicates golden rules, meaning how much they are important. By seeing this particular name, we'll get to know how much they are important. Okay. Here, as we all know that there are three types of accounts, right? Personal account, real account, and nominal account. And one more thing we know is that every account is divided into two sides. One is debit side and another one is credit side. I mean, here, as we all know that account, it is there in T shape, that is alphabet T, where the left hand side of an account is considered as a debit side, and the right hand side of an account is called as credit side. And every accounts are having their own debit and credit rules. So today we'll discuss about these debit and credit rules of accounting. Later we'll discuss how to apply these golden rules to business transactions. Okay. Yeah. Here first one is personal account. As we all know that this particular account, it deals with person, firm, institution, or organization, etc. Right? So here debit and credit rule of this personal account is debit the receiver, credit the giver. Meaning, if person is receiving the benefit, debit his account, and if person is giving the benefit, credit his account. That particular yeah, these particular rules are applicable to which account? Personal account. Once again, what is the debit rule? Debit is the receiver. What is the credit rule? Credit is the giver. Understood? If person is receiving the benefit, debit his account, and if person is giving the benefit, credit his account. For example, cash received from Mr. Pradeep. Cash received from Mr. Pradeep. Mr. Pradeep personal account, right? So cash received from Mr. Pradeep. Here, Mr. Pradeep, he is the giver, right? His account should be credited. His account should be credited. And next one is, we'll take one more example. One more example. Cash paid to Mr. Pradeep. Cash paid to Mr. Pradeep. Here, Mr. Pradeep is the receiver, so his account should be debited. So Here personal account debit and credit rules are debit is the receiver and credit is the giver. A person is receiving the benefit, debit his account, and a person is giving the benefit, credit his account. Business, it deals with n number of persons, right? Yeah. Yes. So if person is receiving the benefit with whom business deals, if that person is receiving the benefit, then we have to debit his account. And if person is giving the benefit, then we have to credit his account. Understood? Okay. This is about which account? This is about personal account. The next one is real account. Very simple concept where real account it deals with assets or properties of the business. So here debit and credit rules are debit what comes in and credit what goes out. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Meaning if asset is coming into the business, debit assets account. If asset is going out of the business, then credit that particular asset account. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. The asset that comes to business, its account should be debited, and the asset which goes out of the business, that particular account should be credited. For example, machinery purchased for cash, machinery purchased for cash. Here you will find two assets in this particular transaction. One is machinery and another one is cash. Both are assets, both are properties. Machinery is fixed asset which we are going to use for a long period of time, and cash is current asset, meaning which we are not going to hold it for a long period of time, which we are going to spend. That one is called as current asset. It is nothing but cash. So here machinery purchased for cash. Here two assets are there. One is machinery and another one is cash. The asset that comes to business, it should be debited, and the asset that goes out of the business, it should be credited. So machinery purchased for cash, what comes in, machinery comes in, what goes out, cash goes out. So here machinery account should be debited and cash account should be credited. Machinery account should be debited and cash account should be credited. That one is real account. Then third one is nominal account. As we all know that this particular account is deals with all kinds of expenses and losses, and it deals with all kinds of incomes and gains. It deals with all kinds of expenses and losses and incomes and gains. So if there are any expenses and losses, they should be debited. If there are any incomes and gains, they should be credited. So the rule, the debit and credit rule of nominal account is debit all expenses and losses and credit all incomes and gains. That is the rule of which account? That is the rule of nominal account. So once again, we'll recall this debit and credit rules of all these three accounts. First one is personal account. Debit is the receiver, credit is the giver. A person is receiving the benefit, debit his account, and a person is giving the benefit, credit his account. Second one is real account, which deals with property or asset. If asset comes to business, debit assets account. If asset goes out of the business, credit that particular asset account. So debit what comes in, credit what goes out. That is what, that is real account. Then nominal account, it deals with expenses and losses and incomes and gains. So debit all expenses and losses and credit all incomes and gains. For example, rent paid. Rent paid is what? It is expense. So we should debit rent account. We should debit rent account. What is the transaction? Rent paid. Expenditure it is. So debit expenses and losses. So debit rent account. Suppose commission received, it is a income, right? It is a income. So we should credit commission account. So very simple concept it is. Nominal account, debit all expenses and losses, meaning if you found any of the expenses and losses, you have to debit it. And if you found any of the incomes and gains, you have to credit it. That particular account is known as what? It is known as nominal account. Okay. Now, let us move to the very important aspect, that is application of these golden rules of accounting, meaning how to apply these rules in connection with business transaction. We need to follow four important steps for applying these golden rules of accounting. What is the first step? Here, first step is we need to find out two aspects or two accounts involved in the business transaction. See here, in every business transaction, you will find minimum two accounts. I'm saying minimum two accounts. Yeah, it means there may be more than two accounts also, but there will be minimum two accounts. So first we need to find out those two aspects or those two accounts in a transaction. For example, purchased machinery for cash, purchased machinery for cash. Here, one account is receiving the benefit and another account is giving the benefit. Which account is receiving the benefit? Machinery account is receiving the benefit because machinery purchased. Understood? Machinery purchased for cash. Machinery account is receiving the benefit and cash account is giving the benefit. Understood? So here two accounts are, one is machinery account and another one is a cash account. Understood? So the first step involved in application of golden rules of accounting is, first we need to find out two accounts involved in business transaction. We need to find out two accounts involved in the transaction. Then second step is, in first step you will find out two accounts in business transaction. Your second step is you should see to it that those two accounts are belongs to which category. Those two accounts are belongs to which category. See here, one account may be personal account, another account may be real account, or one account may be real account, another account may be nominal account, or both the accounts may be personal account, both the accounts may be real account, or both the accounts may be nominal account. So you people should see to it that those two accounts are belongs to which category. For example, that in first step we took example called machinery purchased for cash. So there are two assets. Sorry, there are two accounts. One is machinery account and another one is a cash account. So second step is we should see that this machinery account and cash account are belongs to which category. Machinery is asset, it is belongs to real account. At the same time, cash is also asset, so it is also belongs to which account? It is also belongs to real account. Understood? We'll take one more example. Salary paid. Salary paid. Here, salary paid rupees 5,000. Which are the two accounts? One is a salary account and another one is cash account. Paid, received always represents cash. Understood? So, salary paid, there are two accounts. One is a salary account and another one is a cash account. Salary is which account? It is expenditure, so it is a nominal account. Cash is which account? It is a asset, it is a real account. Understood? So first you should find out two accounts involved in business transaction, and in the second step you should see to it that those two accounts are belongs to which category. Both the accounts may be belongs to same category, or one account may be belongs to one category and another will be belongs to another category. So you should see or you should check those two accounts are belongs to which category. That is the second step. And third step is you need to apply the respective rules to the two accounts. We need to apply respective rules to those two accounts. We'll take example of that machinery purchased for cash. Machinery purchased for cash. There are two accounts. One is cash account and another one is machinery account, or one is machinery account and another one is cash account. Here both are real account, both are real account. Machinery is asset, it is real account, and cash is asset, it is also real account. Now what is the rule of real account? The rule of real account is debit what comes in and credit what goes out. Machinery purchased for cash, what comes in? Machinery comes in, so debit machinery account. What goes out? Cash goes out. So credit which account? Credit cash account. So it is how we need to apply respective rules to above accounts. Respective rule to above accounts. We'll take one more example. Salary paid rupees 5,000. Salary paid rupees 5,000. Which are the two accounts? First step is we need to find out two accounts. One is a salary account, another one is cash account. Keep in mind, paid and received always indicates cash account. Understood? So here salary paid rupees 5,000. Two accounts are, one is a salary account and another one is a cash account. Now you should see to it that these two accounts are belongs to which category? Salary account. Salary is expenditure. So which account it is? It is nominal account. Cash is asset. Which account it is? It is real account. So salary is expenditure. So what is, and we all know that salary is nominal account. So for expenses, which rule is applicable? Debit rule is applicable. So that is debit all expenses and losses. So which account should be debited? Salary account should be debited. Now here two accounts are there. One is a salary account and another one is cash account. So once you debited salary account, then the cash account should be credited. There is a concept called dual aspect concept. In every business transaction, we'll find minimum two accounts. If one account is debited, another account should be credited. We are not supposed to debit both the accounts and we are not supposed to credit both the accounts. For every debit, there should be a corresponding credit. That particular concept is called as dual aspect concept. So here salary paid rupees 5,000. Salary is nominal account since it is expenditure. Cash is real account since it is a asset. So it is expenditure and it is nominal account. Which rule is applicable? Debit rule is applicable. So salary account should be debited. Now cash is real account. Since you apply debit rule of nominal account, you should apply credit rule of real account. What is the credit rule of real account? Credit what goes out. Salary paid rupees 5,000. 5,000 goes out of the business. So which account should be credited now? Cash account should be credited. Understood? So say salary paid rupees 5,000. Salary is expenditure. It is nominal account, and cash is asset. It is a real account. So since it is expenditure, debit rule of nominal account is going to apply. That is debit all expenses and losses. So salary account should be debited, and cash account, it is a real account. You should see it is coming into the business or going out of the business. Here salary paid means it is going out of the business. Which rule is applicable? Credit rule is applicable. That is credit what goes out. Understood? We'll take one more example. Paid cash to Mr. Pradeep rupees 5,000. Paid cash to Mr. Pradeep rupees 5,000. Which are the two accounts? One is cash account. Understood? You should see that there will be minimum two accounts, and in that one account receives benefit and another account gives benefit. Understood? So cash paid to Mr. Pradeep rupees 5,000. Cash account is giving the benefit and Pradeep's account is receiving the benefit. Are you getting my point? Okay, fine. So here two accounts are cash account and another one is Pradeep's account. Cash account is which account? It is a real account because it is asset. Pradeep is which account? It is a personal account because Pradeep is a human being. Understood? So cash paid to Mr. Pradeep, personal account. Mr. Pradeep's account is personal account. Cash paid to Mr. Pradeep. Yeah. Pradeep is the receiver or he is the giver? Pradeep is the receiver. Pradeep is the receiver. So debit Pradeep's account. Cash paid. Cash is real account. You should see whether it is coming into the business or going out of the business. Here it is going out of the business. Understood? So credit cash account. Understood? Pradeep is the receiver. So debit Pradeep's account, and cash goes out of the business. Credit cash account. It is how we need to apply these golden rules to the business transactions. So there are four important steps. First step is you need to find out two accounts involved in business transaction, and the second one is you should see that those two accounts are belongs to which category, whether they are personal account or real account or nominal account. Understood? Sometimes both accounts will be belongs to same category. Sometimes one account will be belongs to one category and another will be belongs to another category. So you should see to it that those two accounts are belongs to which category or which type of account. Then third step is you need to apply the respective debit and credit rules to those two accounts. Understood? Then fourth step is write the particular account is to be debited and the account is to be credited. Account is to be credited. So meaning here, after applying the rules, you will get to know which account should be debited and which account should be credited. That is what you should write. That is fourth step involved in this particular application of golden rules of accounting. So it is all about application of golden rules of accounting. Once again, I will recall the rules. Personal account, debit is the receiver, credit is the giver. Real account, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Nominal account, debit all expenses and losses and credit all incomes and gains. Our entire accounting practice is based on these golden rules of accounting. You people should keep in mind these golden rules of accounting. Understood? Yeah, four steps are: first you should find out two accounts, later you should see to it that those two accounts are belongs to which category, later you need to apply the respective debit and credit rules, later you need to write which account is to be debited and which account is to be credited. So it is all about golden rules of accounting and application of golden rules of accounting. Yes, let us take some of the examples in connection with application of these golden rules of accounting. Here, what is the first step? First step is, yeah, we need to find out two accounts, right? Then later we should see to it that those two accounts are belongs to which category. Later we should see to it that, which first one is we need to find out two accounts. Later we need to see to it that those two accounts are belongs to which category. Later we need to apply respective debit and credit rules. Later we have to write which account should be debited and which account should be credited. Okay, we'll take some of the examples. Yes, here there are certain transactions. Don't focus on that figures, I mean amounts. What you need to do is you need to find out two accounts in that particular transaction. Understood? Then you should see to it that those two accounts are belongs to which category. You should see to it that those two accounts are belongs to which category. Which category? Yes, those two accounts are belongs to which category. Then you need to apply respective debit and credit rules. Later you need to write which account should be debited and which account should be credited. Okay, here are some of the transactions. Here, first transaction is commenced business with cash rupees 1,75,000. Don't bother about that amount 1,75,000. What is the transaction? Commenced business with cash. Here you will find two accounts. Which are those two accounts? First account is cash account. First one is cash account. Okay, what is another account? See here, any amount invested by owner into the business is known as what? It is known as a capital. It is known as what? It is known as capital. So second account is a capital account. You are not supposed to write the name of the owner. You should write capital. Capital represents owner. Representative personal account. No, representative personal account. So what you should not write the name of the owner, you should write capital account. Understood? Here two accounts are, one is commenced business with cash, one is cash account, and another one is person one who invested that money. His account is capital account. It is a representative personal account. Understood? So commenced business with cash, keep in mind capital account will come and cash account will come. Certain times commenced business with cash rupees 1,75,000, machinery rupees 5 lakh. Three accounts will come. One is commenced business with cash, cash account, machinery, machinery account, then owner's account. It is nothing but capital account. So here business is commenced only with one asset, that is cash. So one is cash account and another one is owner's account. Which account it is? It is capital account. Understood? Okay. Now the second step is we should see to it that these two accounts are belongs to which category. Cash is which account? Cash is real account. Which account it is? It is a real account. Capital is which account? Capital is personal account. Which account it is? It is a personal account. Why capital is personal account? Because capital, it represents owner. It represents owner. That is the reason it is which account? It is personal account. Understood? Okay. Now, yeah, cash is real account and capital is personal account. Now we should apply the respective rules. Cash is real account. Understood? What is the debit and credit rule of real account? Debit rule is debit what comes in. Credit rule is credit what goes out. Understood? So here commenced business with cash. Owner is investing cash into the business. So cash is coming into the business or going out of the business? Cash is coming into the business. Cash is coming into the business. So debit cash account. Debit cash account. Understood? Debit cash account. Then here capital account. Here owner is the receiver or he is the giver of that cash. He is the giver of that cash. Commenced business with cash. It is nothing but money invested by owner into the business. Understood? So cash is coming into the business and owner is the giver. So which account should be credited now? Which account should be credited? Capital account should be credited. Capital account, capital account, capital account should be credited. It is how we need to apply these golden rules of accounting. Understood? Yes. So what is the first step? We need to find out two accounts in a transaction. Here two accounts are, one is cash account and another one is a capital account. Once you recognize the two accounts, then later you should check those two accounts are belongs to which category. Both may be belongs to same category, both may be belongs to different category, right? So here cash is real account and capital is personal account, because capital it always represents owner. Now go to real account, go to real account rules. What real account rule says? Real account rule says like debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So here you should check this cash is coming into the business or it is going out of the business. Commenced business with cash, meaning money invested into the business, so cash is coming into the business, that is the reason debit cash account. Then capital account is a personal account. What is the rule of personal account? Debit is the receiver and credit is the giver. So here owner is, it is nothing but capital account, right? So here he is receiving the benefit or giving the benefit? He is giving the benefit. Understood? He is the giver, right? Cash invested into the business, he is the giver. So which account should be credited? Capital account should be credited. So it is how we need to apply these golden rules of accounting. Let us move to next example. That is, goods purchased for cash rupees 75,000. Goods purchased for cash rupees 75,000. Okay, which are two accounts here? Which are two accounts? Good purchased. Actually, how to recognize two accounts? See here, in two accounts, no, you here in a transaction, just you should check which account is receiving the benefit and which account is giving the benefit. Goods purchased for cash. So here cash means cash is going out of the business, meaning it is giving the benefit. It is giving the benefit. And another one is goods account, but we never considered or treated it as a goods account. If goods are purchased, then they should be termed as a purchases account. They should be termed as a purchases account. We are not supposed to call it as a goods account. Understood? If it is goods purchased, it is purchases account. If it is goods sold, it is sales account, because the term purchases and sales are only applicable to goods. Understood? So no need to specify goods account and all, because the purchases accounts and sales account themselves, they represent goods. Understood? So here two accounts are goods purchased for cash. So here purchases account is receiving the benefit and cash account is giving the benefit. So here two accounts are, one is purchases account, one is purchases account, and another one is cash account. Another one is which account? Another one is a cash account. Okay. Purchases, is it a person? No. Is it a property? No. It is expenditure. Purchases, it is a expenditure, right? It is a expenditure. So expenditure means which account it is? It is a nominal account. It is a nominal account. Cash account is which account? Cash account is a real account. What is the reason? Because it is a asset. It is a real account because it is a asset. Now, okay, yeah, we all know that purchases is nominal account. Purchases is a nominal account. Why it is nominal account? Because it is expenditure. It is expenditure. So what is the rule of this nominal account? Nominal account says that debit all expenses and losses. So for purchases, which rule is applicable? For purchases, debit rule is applicable. So debit which account? Debit purchases account, because purchases are expenses. Understood? Purchases are expenses. Now which account should be credited? Cash account should be credited. Why cash account should be credited? Cash is which account? It is real account. What is the debit rule? Debit what comes in? Here cash is coming into the business? No, it is going out of the business. So which rule is applicable? Credit rule is applicable. So cash account should be credited. So credit cash account. Understood? It is how we need to apply these golden rules of accounting. These golden rules of accounting. Okay. Now let us move to another example. Yes. Here, what is the transaction? Transaction is sold goods to Ramesh. Sold goods to Ramesh. Okay. Yes. We were discussing about certain basic terms that are used in accounting, like we discussed entity, capital, drawings, purchases, sales. Somewhere we discussed about even a transaction, business transaction. What is the meaning of business transaction? The economic activities or exchange activities of business are called as transaction. I have told you people that there are two types of transactions. One is cash transaction and another one is a credited transaction. Now, how to understand which one is cash transaction and which one is credited transaction? See here, in a transaction, if the name of the person is claimed, if the name of the person is mentioned, and if they not specified for cash, for example, sold goods to Ramesh rupees 30,000. Suppose if they were giving transaction like this, sold goods to Ramesh for cash rupees 30,000, then it indicates cash transaction. Understood? It becomes credited transaction when they will claim the name of the person in a transaction. Understood? When they will claim the name of a person in a transaction, and when they won't specify for cash. Here, have they specified for cash? No, just they said that sold goods to Ramesh, rupees 30,000. Here they claimed the name of the person in a transaction. It means it is a credited transaction. That is the reason they are claiming the name of the person. Understood? Suppose if it was cash transaction, then they were not claiming the name of the person. And even though if they were claiming the name of the person in a transaction, they were specifying for cash, like sold goods to Ramesh for cash rupees 30,000. But here they are not specifying for cash. What they have done here, they have just claimed the name of the person in a transaction. So what it indicates, it indicates that it is a credit transaction. In credit transaction, person is very important. Why he or she is very important? Because they have not yet made the payment, or they have not yet received the payment. Understood? That is the reason they are very important. And in cash transaction, person is not at all important. Understood? Person is not at all important. Very simple aspect it is. If you sold goods on cash basis, to whom you sold good, that is not going to be a matter as far as account is concerned. But when you will sell goods on credit basis, at that time that person is going to be a matter, because we are going to collect money from that particular person. So if you people seen any person's name in a transaction, and if they not specified for cash, then it indicates what? It indicates that that particular transaction is a credited transaction. And in case of credited transaction, person is very important. So here we should see which are the two accounts here. First of all, which type kind of transaction it is? It is credited transaction. Yes. Which are the two accounts here? Here one account is giving the benefit and another account is receiving the benefit. Okay. So which are those two accounts? One is sales goods. So one is goods account and another one is Ramesh account. Here cash account will not come because it is a credited transaction. Understood? So actually we won't call it as a goods account. In case of sold goods or sale of goods, we will term it as what? We will term it as a sales account. Understood? So here two accounts will come. One is Ramesh accounts. One is Ramesh account. It is a account which is receiving the benefit, and another account is sales account, which is giving the benefit. Every transaction will be having a minimum two accounts. In that, one account is debited and another account should be credited. See here, sold goods to Ramesh, they are claiming the name of Ramesh in transaction, means it is a credited transaction. That is the reason they are claiming it. Even sometimes it so happens, even in case of cash transaction, they will claim the name of the person, but they will specify for cash, like sold goods to Ramesh for cash rupees 30,000. At that time, two accounts will come. One is cash account and another one is sales account. At that time, Ramesh is not a material, because already we have collected cash. Understood? He is not a material. He is not important. Understood? What is important? Which account received benefit and which account gave benefit, that is important. In case of Cash transaction, sales account, it gives the benefit, and cash account, it receives the benefit. Goods sold for cash, sales account is giving the benefit and cash account is receiving the benefit. Since it is credit transaction, here cash account will not come. That person's account will come. So Ramesh account is one account and sales account is another account. Ramesh account is which account? Ramesh account is personal account, because Ramesh is a person. Understood? Ramesh account is which account? It is a personal account. Sales account is which account? Sales account is nominal account. Why it is a nominal account? Sales is income to business. It is income to business. See here, purchases are nominal account because they are expenses to business. Sales are income to business. That is the reason they are nominal account. Now, Ramesh is personal account. So we should see the debit and credit rule of Ramesh account. Yes, here Ramesh is the receiver or he is the giver. Sold goods to Ramesh. It means Ramesh is the receiver. So which rule is applicable? Debit rule is applicable. So debit which account? Debit Ramesh account. Debit Ramesh account. Then now apply credit rule to the sales account. What is the credit rule of sales account? Credit rule of sales account is, sorry, credit rule of nominal account is credit all incomes and gains. So sales are income to business. That is the reason we have to credit sales account. So it is how we need to apply the debit and credit rules to these all accounts. Understood? Yeah, there are a number of transactions and we'll discuss these all transactions along with proper discussion. Yeah, along with proper explanation in my next video. Yes. So if you people are having any kind of confusion, that listen to this particular video for 2 3 times, by that you people will get some proper clarity. Yeah, in my next class again I am going to take some more examples, by that you people will become perfect in applying to these accounts. Yes, so let us end this class now. Thank you so much.